The black sheep.
You consider this the talking stage to be like if you and this other girl are like, okay, we're in the talking stage. It could be we're in the talking stage and we're talking to other people, or it could be we're in the talking stage and we're only talking to each other, right?
Okay.
So let's say like flirting with other people. You wouldn't say that that's like off limits if you guys are in the talking stage.
No, of course
like,
not.
You're able to flirt with other people and they're able to flirt with other people.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's what you think?
I mean, if I haven't said or she hasn't said anything to contradict that, then yeah, it's okay.
Okay, so always about communication, because
always about communication.
I've heard people like say that they're not okay with like if they're talking to a girl, they only want them to be talking to them too.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people don't say that. So then later on they end up finding
There's
out.
problems.
And then they get like fucking sad or whatever because nothing was ever.
They get sad.
Yeah, depending on who the person is.
Uh-huh.
But because nothing was ever said,
I feel like people get like picky about that when it comes to like, I was gonna say it, but when it comes to sex. Right, because it's like if you're just dating, like you can go out on dates and shit like that. But if you're telling me like I'm going out and like fucking other people,
okay, so then that's when it becomes a thing.
That's when it becomes like a iffy.
They're having sex with you, but they're also having sex with other people they're talking to. Then you're not okay with that?
I'm not okay with it if I'm doing the same thing, but like
if you're focused on them, then it's just like no.
Yeah, it's kind of awkward. So I would tell them that I'd be like, if that's something that you don't really like. If you don't feel that same way about me, then like I'm just gonna gotta move on now. If you're out here like messing around with these people like you don't feel the same way about me, then I'm not gonna be feeling. Yeah, I'm not gonna
taking
try
it to
that
the
hard.
to the same extent with other people and you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like that's also I feel like where I would like
feel different,
yeah,
uncomfortable.
Feel different is if they were also sleeping with other people.
Right.
Because you don't want to fucking spread shit either.
Exactly. So like, you got to be careful out here. But it's also like, yeah, people just get weird about sex, but it's also like that safety thing too. So you got to be careful.
So let's say that like you never said anything, right? But you've been talking to this person for like 2 months now and you really like them. And you feel like it's kind of like, it's basically implied, right? That you guys are not talking to other people, but you've never said it.
Okay.
And let's say that one day you guys are like on
how would
a date.
it be
like you've already told her like I really like you and like she's told you the same or whatever.
Okay.
But you guys are not in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say that one day you guys are like on a date and
this like scenario is very specific. Is there a reason all these questions are happening?
I'm coming up with this in my head right now.
Okay.
But let's say that then she gets a text or like you see something pop up on her phone or some shit and it's like a Tinder message and then she's like, oh yeah, I've been talking to other people too. How would you feel in that moment? Like, I mean, obviously you can't say anything
because you guys aren't together.
Yeah, like, so what would you do in that in that scenario?
I mean, just talking about how I would feel, like I would feel a little like weird about it and I would be like hurt a little bit. But I wouldn't be you wouldn't
consider her cheating on you?
No. I would ask her questions, though.
Okay.
I would ask, like, are you, like seeing anyone, like, how we're seeing each other? You know what I mean? Like, obviously, like, you said that you guys are, like, a little bit more serious, right? I would ask her if, like, are you talking to anybody the same way you're talking to me? Is this guy the same, like...
And what if she's like, yeah?
Oh. Then I'm going to be like, okay.
Would you still continue talking to her?
Well, I'd be like, we just need to have a talk about... like what this is then.
Oh, okay.
Because then I don't want anything to get messy.
Okay.
So I would just, if we're still talking, like you said, we're still talking. I mean, it's a little bit more serious, but we are still talking. And then I would just be like, okay, well then there's a miscommunication here between me and you about what we are.
Like to some people, I feel like there's some people that they continue talking to multiple people up until the moment that you're like, do you want to be my girlfriend?
Mm-hmm.
Which... I don't know how I feel like about that because I feel like at some point before you ask, it should be like you're only talking to each other.
Heck yeah, it should be.
But some people are not like that, which I don't know. To each their own.
I mean, it's just a difference between like talking and like seeing. And by seeing, you know what I mean? You can't be like you guys. He's literally or she or he is literally going to ask you to be their boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever. You know, like a week later, and then but you're like having sex like a week before like, with someone else. It's like there's some weird.
It's a little weird.
There's a little weirdness there, unless you guys are open to an open relationship, which is like your business. But in my opinion, like yeah, like you said, there should be some time where you guys are just talking to each other before you get to.
Yeah, I feel like that's like, because that's when you really know that you want to be with that person, because you guys are only talking to each other and like
you only
hanging out with each other and only doing things together and whatever.
Right.
Anyways, that was just my little question. I just wanted to know like what you think about
Why
it.
is that? You just had a curiosity?
Well, I was listening to this podcast or something, and I think they like mentioned it, and everyone had different opinions about like what they think or how they feel when they're in the talking stage with someone, and I was like, oh, I wonder what you think.
And I feel like, well, maybe we're not too similar, but in that way, I feel like we agreed on a lot of what we said.
Because some people do think that the talking stage is like, if you're talking to someone,
you're only talking to them.
Yeah. Like, I like you and you like me, and so we should only be talking to each other. But it's different.